Okay, welcome back to the channel, and today I want to share with you something that I did with a client today when I was giving him a lesson, and he had the classic over the top or out to in action, and what I did to him changed him within 2 swings, and it was a drill that I do a lot. So come on, let's go do it. Okay, so I thought I'd share this with you because this was going to help probably a lot of golfers out there, especially over the weekend if you're playing golf with the Masters and so on and so forth. But I had a client that come to me today. He's been coming to. This is his second lesson that he had with me, and he's actually a left-hander, but his shots were slicing on the course, and he wasn't able to control that, and occasionally you get the odd pull as well, and that. The first lesson we gave him, which is really, really important, was we changed his grip. Okay, you know how I like the grip to be, and I've got other videos and you can watch those as well. But having the correct grip, managed to square his face up, but we couldn't get his path right straight away. So I wanted to bring him back today, and we worked on path. And he had the classic, what we'd call, over the top action. So what does that mean? That means that when the club comes down to hit the ball, the club head is coming out over the top. I'll exaggerate it. Comes out over the top or over this way, or what we'd call outside to in. So if you had a target line that runs from behind the ball through the ball towards a target, that would be deemed as outside, and this is inside. All right. The actual golf swing, when you swing a golf club, it works in a circular or a curved sort of arc. Okay, so the golf club will probably never really venture outside the line. It would probably come from inside the line, down the line, and then back round inside again. Well, his was coming from outside to in. All right, and this, when you do this and you have the club face open to the swing path, you generally will create side spin and hit the ball off to the right hand side. So it's really, really important that we changed his path today, because what we did when we changed his grip, he was getting a straight pull. All right, so he was pulling it off the target, so we needed to change his path today, right? And we did a drill with him. We had to explain to him what he was doing, and it's pretty common, really. It's something that we see a lot of golfers do. So we had to change his path, and then we had to, we did that by, first of all, explaining what it was he was doing, and then we gave him a drill that actually helped him to rectify that, okay? And actually it worked within probably 1 or 2 swings, to be fair, which it normally does. It's my go-to drill if somebody has a really bad path issue, all right? And that's really what was happening to his golf swing. Okay, so what this particular client was doing, it's a very common fault that we see. Generally, they know or have an understanding that they've got to try and swing the club from inside, or they feel like they've got to swing from inside to out, okay? We all know, I've just done this and just said basically it's in to in, but ideally they feel like they have to swing from in to out. So what they generally do is when they take the golf club away, they feel that if they take the club straight back behind them on an inside angle, at a very sharp angle, this is going to encourage them to come back through on that path. But what actually happens is momentum takes over. And if you take the club head back too shallow or too much on the inside and the club head rolls behind the hands, this generally causes one thing. It causes you to overturn your body too quickly. And then what you have to do from there is you then have to lift the hands and arms up. And now what you're doing here now is you're throwing momentum this way, because once it goes this way, you've then got to swing it back down. So what happens is you go around here, lifts up, and then it comes out this way. So I've now tipped the weight of the club, or the momentum, to go over my shoulder and over my hands too soon, and this means I'm going to come across the ball. All right, so that's really what he was getting into. So he was coming over this way and then coming across that way, all right, when he was hitting it. So it wasn't really working for him, because he's never going to get, I mean, you can play decent golf there. I'm a big believer that we have windows of opportunity. So you can, I mean, there's been some great golfers in tournament play that have come slightly inside and then they've come back down slightly more over the top of that original path, but they generally keep it within a sort of a window frame. They're not going from massive over to here, they're not making this massive loop. All right, and that's how I described it to him. So I basically said, look, you're creating a bit of a loop. You're bringing the club around here, and then you're looping over this way in order to hit it. So the cure was pretty simple, really. We needed to do the absolute opposite. All right, so we needed to get him looping the club out this way to then inside. All right, and he had to get that feeling of that, and he had to really get that feeling of the club head coming out to under. So you've probably seen videos of me calling it up to under. Okay, so you want to get the shaft to go up and then swing under, like as in tennis. You know, if you play baseball, you know, you take the bat back, it goes up and then it comes under. And this is, it's sort of a terms of like almost shallowing out. I don't like that term as such, but that's the feeling. Okay, and we had to do that by using and creating a different path for him by using momentum, the weight of the club, because if I swing the club up this way, it naturally wants to go behind me, whereas if you bring it around this way, it naturally wants to come over the top. All right, so that's what we were doing for him. So the drill that I gave him, it's one we call the hinge drill. All right, and when you do the hinge drill, it creates a lot of good things, really. We wanted to keep, one of the good things that good players do is they keep the club head outside the hands for the first part of the swing. Okay, and then what happens is if I keep the club head outside my hands here, it will then pass over my hands, which sets me into good position, and then my hands will create a bit of a loop like this on the downswing. Try and channel your inner Matthew Wolf, you know, when he's almost like this, isn't he? And then he flips it back that way. That's what we're trying to almost generate. Now the drill that I do is called the hinge drill, and it's really a simple one. You really literally take your grip, take your stance, and you literally hinge the wrists upwards like so. Okay, it doesn't have to be parallel, but as long as there's enough hinge there, and I've kept my hands in front of me, and all I'm going to do from here is literally take the club back. I'm going to feel as though the butt end of the club and the head move at the same sort of pace to start with, and this keeps the hands outside naturally. I've almost done the job straight away. I don't have to think about it. From here then what's going to happen is I'm then going to allow the club head to pass over my hands, okay, to pass over. So when I get to about here somewhere, I can then allow it to pass over my hands, and that's going to create the momentum to do that motion here to then hit the ball. And I'm then going to bring the club head back down to hit the ball. And when you do this nice and easy. So just back and just through, okay. I pulled up on that one. Even though I'm using rubber balls, it's weird. But I'm just going to hinge up, and just back and through, okay. From here you can see the club head, or I can feel the club head changing direction, and it takes a couple of swings, that's all, just to get that right. So let's try that again. Hinge up, and just through. Okay, so from here it just naturally snaps down that way, and it really works. It worked for him, well, pretty much instantly. And actually by the end of it, he wanted to do the drill rather than actually doing it from the start, with it, you know, from a standard position. So I've told him like to go away and play this, you know, today, and just do the drill if he has to, because he absolutely nailed it when he did this, because he was really able to change the direction. The other good thing is when you do this drill and you're using momentum as I've just done here, it actually helps you to move your body properly as well. Because if I'm using this here, this causes me to heave generally the shoulder to come forward, whereas if I'm going this way, it tends to keep the shoulder back for a bit longer and lets me pull the arms down better into the ball. So I can just do that and pull it back better into the ball. It works every time, I promise you. It's going to feel, when you do it, that you're going up and you're coming almost under here. What happens is though, is you're going to meet in the middle somewhere, especially if you're somebody who's been used to coming this way. You'll think you're over exaggerating. That's what happened to him. He thought he was like almost swinging it behind here somewhere, but actually when we videoed him, he was about here somewhere. So he was actually bang on line. So what feel versus real is totally different things, but that's a great drill to do, especially if you're somebody who's slicing the ball, is to just hinge the wrists up, okay, get the feel for that, and then swing back and then change that loop. Have that loop in the swing. Feel like the club almost arches over this way. Once you've set that momentum going, it can't stop, and then it will come down through the ball in the right path. Once you bring it in here, the momentum's got to go that way when you swing down and through. All right, takes a bit of practice, takes a bit of time, and then you can try. I mean, after a while we say, right, just have a little practice swing where you feel like the club head goes, the handle goes down and the club head comes up, just to get that feeling of keeping the club head outside the hands. Once you do that, then it can cross over and then hit the ball. All right, but just take that to the course and practice that as much as you can and swing through. You'll really get that feeling of everything working properly, and you're going to swing the club on a much better path. All right, anyway, I hope that's of interest to you. I hope you really enjoyed that, and I hope that's going to help you as well moving forward. If you have any questions about that, please comment below. If you're looking to have lessons with myself, I'm available on both Skillist and Sneed. I'm also available for in-person lessons as well near Manchester. So being a Malaska golf coach, I'm getting quite a few inquiries with that now, and that's really good as well. So if you're looking to improve your golf this year, then please message me. You can find me on my social medias and so on. Anyway, Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe as usual. I really appreciate the ones that have done, and also the people that watch. I hope that helps you, and I'll catch you next week.